Hello, Personal Finance. Today we're going to talk about some graphs, particularly this first graph that I've brought up here. And the title of the graph is Price Changes of Selected U.S. Consumer Goods and Services. So in other words, from 1998 to 2019, that's the time period that this graph covers, 21 years, and it talks about the cost of items and how they've changed over that time period. So it starts over here at 0%. So 0% is the baseline, and it talks about percentage of change. So if the cost of something has not changed at all in the last 21 years, then the graph for that item will go straight across at the 0% to show that it hasn't changed. So 0% means no change, which means the price hasn't gone up and the price hasn't gone down. So 0% is the baseline. All the items where the cost has gone up, you'll see those are in red, and that shows the price increase. So for example, on the graph, when you go over to the graph and you look at one of the lines that says average hourly wages, it shows the average hourly wages has gone up from the 0% to the 80%, showing there's been about an 80% increase in the amount of hourly wages on average paid out to workers. And it's in comparison when you show percentage, because even if the hourly wages have increased, have the items that you're buying increased at the same rate. So if your wage increases by 80% or your income increases by 80%, but everything that you buy also increases by 80%, then you really haven't gone forward, you've just stayed the same. Now, if the price of the items you've bought you buy every day, like food and college and medical, if those increase at a higher percentage than what you're working, so let's say you've doubled your income, but the price of going to the hospital has tripled. So you may be making more money, but it costs you even more money for some of the services. So you're not even in the same place you were before. You're in a worse position. People sometimes talk about the economy. If the average wage goes from $10 to $15 an hour, that shouldn't be average, that should be minimum wage. If the minimum wage goes from $10 to $15 an hour, which is being proposed in many areas, and it's starting to climb up towards that, if the minimum wage rises to $15 per hour, but also the cost of buying milk doubles, the cost of buying gas doubles, the cost of going to the doctor doubles or triples, the cost of taking a college class triples or quadruples. Are you any better off? So you're making $15 an hour instead of $10 an hour, but now your groceries are twice as much, your car payment is twice as much, your insurance is twice as much. You really haven't increased your wealth at all. You're still kind of in the same place. So that's why it's very important to compare percentages of gains. Have things gained? Have they gone up or have they gone down? So this talks about buying power of the different items. So if you notice everything in red, the cost has gone up percentage-wise. It's more expensive. And the items in blue have gone down. They are now less expensive. So for example, one of them is computer software. And I like to use that one as an example because I remember when we bought our first computer back in the 90s, me and my husband bought our first computer. It was quite expensive. We had to really think about it. It was buying a major purchase to buy that. And now the same, actually a better computer, a faster computer that can do way more stuff is significantly cheaper than what we paid in the 90s. So the cost has gone way down. And so one of the things is, why has the cost of computers gone down? They're easier to make, they're faster to make, you can make a better computer for cheaper. And so when you talk about things like that, why is it cheaper to make a computer, but more expensive to make, to service you at the hospital, let's say? So these are some things this chart wants you to look at and consider when answering these questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. Thanks, guys.